All right, so we're taking a comfortable seat, and I'm going to start this practice today with a very short Dharma talk. And Dharma talk is kind of it's a way to set the foundation for this practice. So if you're following my 30 Days of Wonder, you know that today we are celebrating the wonder of love. And I think in the West, especially, maybe in the world, in the human nature, when we think of love, we think of romantic love, or maybe we think of family love, person to person. But from a yogic perspective, there are three levels of love as a spiritual practice. And many yoga teachers would tell you that's why we're here, is to learn what love really means. And so today, as we go through our practice, I'm going to guide you through these three levels. We'll start with love as a capital L word, the largest sense of love. And it's what we usually refer to in yoga when we say unity, connection, love each other, we're all one family, like that big kind of God love, right? All inclusive. My favorite philosopher, Bono, refers to any time in his lyrics or his speaking when he's talking about God, he instead uses the word love. So now if you go back to his music and listen to like When Love Comes to Town or Pride in the Name of Love, I just get goosebumps thinking about the way he uses that word. So that's the big sense of love. The second level of spiritual love is love on an individual basis. And that's how most of us tend to view love. We meet a partner and we fall in love. Our partner upsets us and we fall out of love. Or there's the parent to child kind of love that even when that person upsets us, we still love them, right? And there's the kind of love we have for our best friends, our fellow companions, our yogis, our furry friends. This love can be conditional, right? And it's still something we need to work on as human beings. The third kind of love is what I want to leave us with at the end of this practice today, and it is love as an action, love as a practice. In yoga, it's called sadhana, Sadhana, and we take on the task of being lovers, even when another person is not acting lovable. And that's our mission here in life, is to learn to be love in action. So that's our practice today. So as you take this comfortable seat, will you just close your eyes and feel into your body? Feel into the way your breath is moving in your body. And just feel into whatever experience your body is having right now. Maybe there's tension or tightness somewhere. Maybe there's pain. Maybe there's ease. Or maybe restlessness. Feel into what's happening right now in your body. And then start to be more intentional with your breath, meaning move breath more deeply into your body, especially in those places that you've just noticed. The tightness, the tension, any pain. Move breath there now. Bring your attention to your breath. Imagine that as you sit here, you take on the shape of a mountain, an unmovable mountain. And in this moment, you are this capital L love. You're aware of this big version of love. Love for all of humanity, all living beings. Capital L, love, right here, right now, as you sit. Let's stay with this sense of the capital L, like we've kind of come inside a little bubble outside of the worries of the day, and we're sitting here in this large sense of love. Draw your shoulders up to your ears like you're giving your neck a hug with your shoulders, and then release your shoulders back down toward the earth, and do that slow movement of your shoulders a few times. Absolute love surrounding you, encircling you, embracing you. Release your fingertips to the floor on either side of you. Rotate your palms up and take a deep breath in, arms sweeping high. And exhale, press your arms down to the sides. Moving with breath, creating even a bigger circle around you inside of this absolute love. No strings attached, no conditions. Start to move your neck as you lower your arms, lower your chin. Lift chin and hands. And then take a deep breath up, interlace your fingers, let your pointer fingers lift, stretch tall, and just take an easy bend from side to side. You can keep your eyes closed if you like and just sense what's happening inside of your body with gentle movement. And release your hands, twist to your right side, exhale all of the air out. And reaching up high back to center, twist to your left. Just allow yourself to move with your breath side to side inside of this great bubble of love, this source of everything. Yogis would call this radical unity. We are all one. And then ease your way back to center, hands on your knees. Start to move through a seated cat and cow. And you can exaggerate this by really rolling forward onto the front of your sitting bones and onto the back. As you roll back, feel your shoulder blades opening. Coming here into your body, inside of this great absolute love. No beginning, no ending. And as you come back to center, we're just going to take this right leg and let it open out to the side. So you're kind of sitting in this little mermaid shape with your left hand on the floor. Bring your right arm up and over. Just come into this nice side stretch. No strain here. Just find a little more space. If you'd like a little more depth, you can drop your elbow to the floor and find this longer side body stretch. Breathe into whatever you find here. Let's come back to center and we'll just switch arms. So dropping the right and lifting the left. You might find a little more intense sensation here in the side of your body. Breathe right into that space where you feel that sensation. And take a few breaths in flow, back and forth, to either hand or elbow. Just exploring this unusual shape of the body, movement with breath. When you've evened that out, release your fingers. Bring your right leg back in and just switch. Sit over on your right hip. Bend your left foot backwards. You're welcome to be sitting up on a cushion here if that feels better to you. And now the left arm lifts. It can be on your hand or maybe lowered to your elbow. And close your eyes. Let there be a pleasant little look on your face. Exploring inside this shape. And slowly coming back to center, reaching the right arm up. A little more work to hold on this side. Your core muscles engaged to support your spine. And then begin movement with breath. Hand or elbow, back upright. You're inside this bubble, this essence of love. Next time the arm comes overhead, let that be a transition to help you turn around onto all fours. You can face either end of your mat. Take your hips from side to side. And if your knees feel a little sensitive, pad up something under your knees, a little blanket or rolled up towels. Side to side motion. And then find the center and inhale, pulling your heart forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, round your spine into cat. You can tuck your toes or leave your feet flat. Just move your spine through cat and cow, gentle edges. One of the yoga words for this kind of love is ananda, which also translates as bliss. This great love is woven into the fabric of the universe, Ananda. And because this love is woven into the fabric of the entire universe, it's also at the very center of our being. Our DNA is Ananda, bliss, love. Tuck your toes, friends. Push back over your feet. Stretch the bottoms of your toes. Again, shift your hips from side to side. And then begin to lift up into downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. Shift your weight. Let your head drop down between your arms and this bliss, this love at the center of our being. Breathe there. Feel into that space and be here. As we look forward, we'll slowly walk our feet to meet our hands, widening our stance just a little bit. Let's come down into a forward fold or ragdoll. You can touch your elbows. If you're feeling pain in your low back today, bend your knees and let your belly rest more on your thighs. If your back is pain-free, you might want to create a little sway from side to side. Whenever we run into those edges of pain, we want to back off, back away from that forcing, harsh place and come back to softness. Allow your fingertips to come to the earth, lengthen through the crown of your head. Knees can still be bent. Bring your hands to your shins, press a little harder, lengthen even more. And then exhale, fold forward. Let's do that a few times. Press to lengthen. Exhale to lower. And with a bend in the knees, scoop the arms high, reach up to extended mountain, and let your arms peel open down to your sides. Find again that sensation of standing like a mountain pose. Let's reach the arms in front of us again and up. As we come down, bend your knees, sink into chair pose and come up again. Make big circles with your arms, big bends with your knees and hips. You might be finding Ujjayi breath here, that whisper breath, that sound of breath. And then come all the way up one more time into extended mountain. Widen your feet, interlace your fingers, pointer fingers up. Come again into that easy bend side to side. So as human beings, we get glimpses of this powerful, big, capital L love. Maybe at some point in nature or on some exciting journey, or the birth of a child or the day of a wedding. We have these huge moments that we remember the rest of our lives. Come to one side and hold. But what yoga teaches is that it's always with us, even in the small moments, the not memorable times. This big capital L love is at our source. Come back to center and switch. And return to center. Let your arms slowly float to your sides and pause. So that brings us to a look at individual love, the relationships in our lives. And as we all know, sometimes these can get challenging and we have to work at them. So we're going to focus on individual love as we work through our sun salutations, building heat. So come to the top of your mat, find your mountain pose, and we'll go through Sun A slow at first. So take a deep breath in, arms float high. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive from the hips. Pressing onto your shins, lengthen, half lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank pose. You can be on your knees or your toes. I'm going to choose knees the first time around. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga. Lower belly to mat and lift to either cobra or Press to the tops of your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause here to feel your body, feel your breath. Maybe connect in your mind with someone in your life that you have an experience with of individual love. Looking forward, bring your feet to meet your hands and lift halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep arms high. And exhale, hands to heart. So let's dedicate this next sun salutation to one person in our life. Someone you love. Someone with whom you experience this sense of individual love. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Press hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, knees or toes. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. And then lower to your belly, rise cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause, hips high, head low, breathe. You might notice that you're building heat in your body. That's the goal. Looking forward, feet come to hands, lift halfway, and then big exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms high, extended mountain, and hands to heart. Pause here. Let's do one more sun A, and this time imagine your close circle of loved ones. The 5 to 10 most beloved individuals in your life. Imagine them surrounding you now. And let's practice with and for this inner circle. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, knees or toes. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause here. 3 slow breaths. Head down, hips high. Feel yourself in this circle of your beloveds. Shifting your eyes forward, step or hop, feet to hands. Lift halfway and exhale, fold. Arms reach high, extended mountain. Take a little back bend. And let your hands come back to your heart. Pause here. Pause inside this feeling of individual love, friend to friend, human to pet, companion. We're going to move into our more fiery sun salutations, sun B. So take a seat here, put your hips back. Your hands can come to your heart or extend overhead. Having focus issues. And take a few deep breaths here. So as we move through Sun B, I'd like you to bring to mind and heart one of the more challenging relationships in your life. A relationship that is requiring effort, work. Notice how immediately your body feels as you experience this effort at relationship. Let's inhale, arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. And we'll take a vinyasa. This is where the heat comes. You can be on your knees or your toes, but flow through your vinyasa with breath. Effort, work. On the inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step through and drop your back heel. Rise up, warrior one. The warrior who's willing to do the work to be better at loving. Exhale, hands to mat, plank pose, knees or toes, lower down. Rise up and send your hips back, down dog. Raise your left leg, take a deep breath in. Exhale, step through, back heel drops, warrior one. Big breath in. One more time, hands to mat, downward facing dog, flow through vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Pausing here, deep breaths. Individual love at times is easy and fun and playful, at times is challenging. Slowly bring your feet to meet your hands, lift halfway. On an exhale, fold yourself in half, deep bend in the knees, grab your ankles or heels and pull yourself into stretch. Deeper bend in the knees, arms reach to chair pose. And we're back where we started. Effort, work, and heat. And then bring yourself to standing mountain pose once again. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes and notice. Notice what work feels like in your body, what heat feels like, and effort. Can you be in this heat and also connect back to that center, that source of love that's always here, even when things are hard? Find that again, that big bubble of absolute love. I'm going to ask you to go through that one more time. Sun B. I promise this is the peak of the heat. So find your chair, hands close or extended, your choice. And now I'm going to ask us to do the real hard work of a yogi, which is to think of a group of people who are different than you. Maybe it's a movement, maybe it's a cause, an argument, a principle, a political affiliation, a religion. I'd like you to think of who you might have been standing against. And let's practice our yoga of staying centered, a center of bliss within, even as we face these bigger challenges. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Take a vinyasa. Shift through knees or toes. You know how to modify by now, right? From down dog, the right leg lifts. We step through. Reach up, warrior one. We are in the middle of the fire. Down, vinyasa. Stay centered. Tap into that place deep within. Left leg rises. Step through. Reach up. And one more time. Vinyasa, high to low, your breath. And this time, as we come to the end of Sun B, drop your knees, come into child's pose. Let out a long sigh, a long breath. You're doing the hard work of tapas, of discipline, of being a yogi. Walk your fingers to the right edge of your mat. Let your hips pull over to the left edge. And walk your hands to the left. Let your hips press to the right. And as we come back to center, return again into downward facing dog. Let an exhale out. Feet slowly walk to meet the hands. Come into a half lift. And a deep forward fold. Knees are bent, fingers on the backs of the heels. Let yourself breathe out. And then our knees bend. We return to chair. That's the end of our Sun B. You made it. Breathe deeply. Inhale tall. And let your arms settle at your sides. Mountain pose once again. Come back to hands in front of the heart, eyes closed, and acknowledge the easy people in our lives and the hard people in our lives. They are all just mirrors. They're all reflections of what's in us. They're all here as teachers. As you nod your head, feel your hips hinging and come back into a forward fold. Let's slow our practice down a bit now that we're nice and warm. So the right foot stays here. Step your left foot back and lower your left knee to the mat. If you'd like some padding, grab something to go underneath your left knee. And as you're here, maybe even scoot that knee back a little further. Pull your chest forward. Breathe into the length and space in the front of that knee. You can stay just like that, or you might want to tuck your toes, relieve the pressure on the knee. Both great options. So whether your knee is down or up, press on the top thigh and lift your torso. Come up to a high lunge. Arms can be down or up. Find something that feels like length from your left bottom rib to your left kneecap. Like pull those 2 points apart from each other. Bring your hands to your heart. Shifting the torso forward, come all the way over that front leg, and then create a twist towards your right knee. So you've got options here. If that elbow doesn't easily touch that knee, you can drop your back knee. You can drop a hand to the floor and just twist here. And turn around. So a lunge with a twist. Breathe, ring out. And then slowly let your fingers come to the floor. The back foot meets the front foot. Come back into forward fold and just shake your legs out. Notice the difference again between left leg, right leg. And now the left foot will stay where it is. Step your right foot back and drop your knee to the earth. Pause here. You can close your eyes. Just feel length. You can keep your knee down or tuck your toes. So according to yogic teachings, all experiences of love are glimpses of the great love. The poet Rumi said, God's joy moves from unmarked box to unmarked box. It hides within these till one day it cracks them open. Bring yourself up high, arms down or up. Find that length, rib to knee. Breathe into that space. Every relationship we encounter, an unmarked box. Hands to heart. Shifting forward, twist to your left side. If that doesn't feel great, drop a knee, drop a hand. Take something a little gentler. An easier twist is up here, hand to knee, hand to hip. It might feel better to some of your low backs. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, belly squeezes in, twist a little further. Good, and then release your hands again to the earth. This time, let's step into downward facing dog, and it's your choice if you'd like to stay here or flow through vinyasa. I'm going to do one more little standing sequence just to make sure the hips are nice and loose before we get to the floor. So on your inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step that foot between your thumbs. The back foot drops, rise up. Warrior one. Good. Open into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Let your right elbow come to your right thigh, the left arm either toward the ceiling or reaching over your ear. Good. Stretch, breathe. Really light weight of the elbow on the thigh. And then circle that top arm all the way around in front of you. Let it turn you forward until you come into pyramid pose. So pyramid, the back foot steps in, the spine lengthens, and we fold down over the right leg. Push your right hip back, really feeling your hamstring. Coming up to a flat back, let's twist. Right arm peels open toward the sky. And as we release that, let's go ahead and walk our hands to the long edge of our mat. Drop your head down into a wide straddle forward fold. So when these individual experiences of love get filtered through our brain, our thinking, they become more limited and more conditional. We get more specific about what it means to deserve our love, to earn our love. And we become conditional lovers. We begin to believe that love comes and goes and that we only feel it for certain people and that there's not enough love to go around. We can't help it, we're humans. Turn towards your left foot. Drop your back heel, reach up, warrior one. And peel open, warrior two. Take a slow inhale, reverse your warrior. Come into side angle, fingers to the sky or over your ear. Nice long line here. Slow breaths. And let that arm circle around and down, shifting forward into pyramid pose. Lengthening and then folding over the left leg. Let's lengthen to a flat back, open the left arm, reach high. Feel that sensation around your left hip, a little bit uncomfortable. And then release, come back to center. Again, wide straddle. And now a little playtime. You can just hang out here. You can bend and straighten your knees, lunge from side to side. Find something here that feels just right to your body. And from here, lift up again. We're just going to heel toe the feet in. That allows us to just drop one knee to the ground, and we'll bring ourselves right around into a seat. Come into a seat with your knees bent. We're going to work on balance here, but balance in a seated position. So we'll use boat pose for our balance challenge today. So go ahead and hold the backs of your knees and let your feet float off the floor. You can hold the legs to lift your spine. Try not to dive in down here in your low back. Chest lifts, chin maybe a little. Option one, stay right here. Option two, reach your arms. Option three, straighten your legs. Breathe. That's not an option. You have to breathe. Lift your waistband. Find that center within you, that calm place of ananda, bliss. And breathe from there. Take a hold of your knees, let them come out wide, butterfly pose. Soles of your feet together, hands on the front of your knees, and then just lengthen your spine, seated cow, round your spine, seated cat. Move a few times with your breath. Come forward one more time with a tall spine, and then just let your spine round over your legs. Head comes toward the feet. Rest here, feeling breath in your back. You might hear yourself sigh or exhale loudly. And let's release. We'll go ahead and take our legs straight out in front of us. So Dandasana, staff pose, clearing the flesh. Tall spine, toes pull back. Option 1, stay here. Just feel there's a great hamstring stretch already. Option 2, fold from your hips and come down into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. And option 3, if you'd like a little variation today, bring your left hand to the outside of your right calf or ankle. Just kind of create a little bit more of a reach to the outer leg. If you've chosen that, you can switch hands, right hand to the outside of the left calf or ankle. And moving back to center, bring yourself to an upright spine if you're not there already. Inhale your arms high. And on your exhale, let your hands come in front of you and begin to round yourself to the earth. Tuck your tailbone and go as slow as you can. So use your abdominals like brakes to slow the descent to the earth. Super slow motion. Be the last one down. And when you get to the floor, hug your knees to your chest. And give yourself a nice little massage on the earth, side to side, happy baby. Bend and straighten your legs. Take this last minute before we go into Shavasana to take any final movement your body needs. Maybe it's a twist. Maybe you enjoy bridge. Maybe there's some inversion that your body needs today. Give yourself a few breaths in your choice of posture. When you feel complete, bring yourself into a state of relaxation. The traditional pose is corpse pose, lying on your back with arms at your sides and feet wide. You're welcome to put something over you or roll something under your knees. If seated meditation works better for you, choose that today. Find a place where you can close your eyes, hear your own breath, and feel your body. Bring yourself back to that source of unconditional love, bliss, Ananda, deep at your center. your mind has wandered, bring it back to this breath, to this body, this deep well of inner peace and bliss, Ananda. Let's all take another deep, slow breath into our whole body and allow our lips to just part as we exhale completely. Begin to move your body in a gentle way that eventually brings you back to a comfortable seat. And when you find this seat, bring your hands together in front of your heart, or maybe let them rest on top of your heart, this connection to our center of love. Anamkara said, "We do not need to go out and find love. Rather, we need to be still and discover the love that is us." When it comes to daily life, feeling love may actually be less important than acting loving. How can I, in spite of what I may be feeling at a particular moment, offer my best to myself and other people? One thing we can do is when we are confronted with a difficult situation, say, how would I act if I were feeling love? Let's bring our hands together in this gesture of gratitude. And as we leave today, let's commit to this practice, this act of love, of being the love that is at our source. In other words, let's take our yoga off our mats. Thanks for joining me today, friends. Namaste.